Hello, boys and girls. Hello, Mr. Caruso. I hope that you guys asked Mr. Caruso why he's not my dad anymore. It's just far too personal for me to talk about, but maybe he can. Anyway, moving along to math. Sorry I couldn't be with you today, but I am grading those state tests, which should be interesting. This seemed like the best way to help you go over the homework. So my advice is watch this through the whole time once, and then the second time, go back and watch it again, but this time pause to write things down, whatever. I think you'll understand it better that way. The quiz tomorrow will be a lot like this, probably four shapes, volume, surface area of each one. Not sure, a couple of you asked for multiple choice. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, just for the sake of time, because these problems take so long to do. Don't forget, you can use a calculator, but that means you have to bring a calculator. I'm not going to give anybody any, and the questions aren't going to require a calculator, but of course, if you can use one, then why wouldn't you? So, all right, first question on the practice quiz, the homework was that this is the net of a square pyramid, like an Egyptian pyramid. Can you find the surface area? Now remember, surface area is the area of all the sides added together, right? This has 5 sides. There are 2 shapes here, a triangle and a square. The square, they only give us one side, 5.1, so you can assume it must be a square because that's the only side they gave us. So to find the area of the side, we have to do 5.1 times 5.1. Now, remember, I am going to use a calculator, but I want to show what I did. So 5.1 times 5.1 equals 26.01. All right, there's the area of the square. Now I have 4 triangles. Each one is 5.95 by 5.1. So I remember a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So I'll do 5.95 times 5.1 equals 30.345. Now at this point, some of you are thinking, oh, you don't have to divide by 2. I don't. I could just double that, because that if I divide by 2, that would be 1, and if I multiply by 2, that would be 2. So why don't I just do 30.345 plus 30.345? That would be 2 plus 2, 4 triangles. So 30.345 plus 30.345 equals 60.69. Now some of you are thinking, why didn't he divide? All right, let me do it that way. 30.375, which was based, whoops, see, easy to make a mistake. 30.345 divided by 2 equals 15.1725. So that's the area of one triangle, but I have 4 of them. So times 4 equals the same thing I already got. So how do I find the surface area of the whole shape? And I know some of you are thinking, but we never did this. We never did this. No, it was on the online quiz too. If you understand surface area, you understand that it's the area of all the sides added together. So 60.69 plus 26.01. If you type it on the calculator, 26.01 equals 86.7. If you type it on the calculator, you could write it on the paper. All right, number 1 done. All right, next question. What is the area in square centimeters of this figure? This figure is a triangle. Triangle is base times height divided by 2. All right? So, calculator, 5.8 times 2.4 equals 13.92 divided by 2 equals 6.96. There it is, right? And that's square centimeters because it's area. Now 2b says if you turned it into a triangular prism with a length of 10, so that means we have to make it go back now and have a length of 10. What's the volume? Now remember, volume equals length times width times height. But wait a minute, it's a triangle, so divide by 2. So wait a minute, we already did length times width, 13.92. So all we have to do is 13.92 times 10, because now we know what the length is. 13.92 times 10 is 139.2, but it's a triangle, so divide that by 2. And I hate to tell you, but I can do this in my head. 69.6, which, if you notice, is the same as the other answer with the decimal moved over once. Because after all, this is the area of the triangle, otherwise known as big B. And to get volume, it's big B times height. So 6.96 times 10 is 69.6. So the volume is 69.6 centimeters cubed because it's volume. Surface area can't be done. We don't know how long this side is and this side is. So we don't know how big those rectangles are. You can't do surface area on this one, which is why I told everybody to cross it out. All right. Number 3, a box is in the shape of a right rectangular prism, has length, width, and height. What's the volume? Remember, volume is length times width times height. So all we have to do is 8.5, you know what, let me write it that way, times 4.5 times 3.75. Again, on a calculator, this is easy. Type it in carefully though. Clear? 8.5 times 4.5 times 3.75. Volume equals 143.4375 inches cubed, because it's volume. All right, surface area. Harder. There is a trick. I never showed you guys the trick because I was afraid it might be too confusing. I'll show you now. We only have 3 numbers, right? 8.5, 3.75, and 4.5. And I probably didn't put them in the right place, but it doesn't matter. We could figure out all the sides and add them together. But since they only gave us 3 numbers, here's the shortcut. We have to do this times this, 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 and this times this, and add them all together. Did that make sense? Probably not. Ready? Watch. 8.5 times 3.75 equals 31.875. There's our first side. 3.75 times 4.5. 16.875. There's our second side. 4.5 times 8.5. 4.5 times 8.5 equals 38.25. There's our third side. Now, remember, the 3 sides that you can't see are the same as the 3 that you can see. So when we did this times this, and this times this, and this times this, when we go backwards, we're just going to get the same numbers again, right? So let's add these up. 31.875 plus 16.875 plus 38.250 equals 87. How many sides is that? 3 sides. How many sides do we have? 6. So we have to double it. 87 times 2, or 87 plus 87. 87 times 2 is 174. The surface area is 174 inches squared. Tough problem, long decimal numbers. I don't think I'm going to give you anything with any crazy long decimals tomorrow. All right? You just don't have time. It's too long. This is ridiculous. All right? Don't worry. I'll give you some easy ones too. This topic is hard enough. All right. Last problem. Guess what? It's the easiest. It's a cube. All the sides on a cube are the same. It's made up of squares, right? They're all 5. Every single side, 5 by 5. So the area of one side is 5 times 5. The area of one side is 25 feet squared. Right? So how would we find the surface area? Well, there's 6 of them. 25 times 6, 150. Right? So the surface area is 150 feet squared, surface area. Volume's even easier, right? It's length times width times height. 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125 feet cubed. See? They don't all have to be hard. All right. Well, 12 minutes, a little long. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully you just watched it through the first time. You can watch it again and make corrections on your paper. All right? Remember, guys, I'll be here today after school for extra help in Mrs. Moy's room. I'll come meet you in there, E9. And if I don't see you, good luck on the quiz tomorrow. Hopefully Mr. Crusoe will be with you. All right. Take care.